From the heart of the Sky Sports Dome, this is Sky Sports News.
Hi there, welcome to Sky Sports News, the only place to be for all the latest from the world of sport.
We have the best of the action from England's under-21s match at Pride Park.
Plus all the news ahead of the main event, England's Wembley showdown against world champions France.
All the latest from around the Premiership grounds as Manchester United look to make Fergie Britain's highest paid manager.
And we find out why Richmond have been punished by the RFU.
Oh, look.
We've just had a time machine. Look at that. I can only speak for myself, but I haven't aged well. Claire, welcome.
Thank you.
25 years on. Here we are on Sky Sports News celebrating 25 years. And they haven't been kind to me.
No, we were both brunettes once.
Yes. Yes. I've spent ages on this tint. Well, welcome. It's wonderful to
Thank you.
Where has those 25 years gone?
We like that. Like that. I think we just spent the whole time covering a lot of sport.
Yeah. Well, you're here to help us celebrate this today, and I've seen a wonderful piece with Dave Clark today, which is just
our good friend.
It got me emotional.
Yeah.
So, OK, 25 years. What has changed? What has changed?
Apart from the hair.
Apart from our hair.
Yes, and the fact that, well, I mean, just everything technically, isn't it? I mean, look at it now. It's just, you know, back in the day, we didn't know if we were going to stay on air. We had paper coming out of our ears. There were tapes running everywhere, getting mangled up. Phil, while we sort that out. I mean, essentially, we're still reporting the news.
Did you think 25 years ago, when Sky Sports News first started on that day, that perhaps me and you would be sitting here 25 years later?
Well, only in a kind of Miss Havisham kind of way, covered in cobwebs. But, I mean, I don't think when we were that age we thought about being 25 years older. That would have been a very scary idea, to be over 50.
Speak for yourself.
Over 60.
Yes. But what has led to this longevity, then, of Sky Sports News?
Well, I think that we just, we filled a niche. I remember at the time, the idea of 24-hour rolling sports news, people were like, how are you going to fill that? You're going to talk about hamstring injuries all day long. And people just didn't think that it had a chance and that we would ever be able to fill the time. And, of course, there's plenty of news going on. And of course, as technology has got better, we've been able to bring it to the screens quicker. And just giving a flavour of events. We might not have had picture for them, but all the events going on, whether they were a Sky Sports event or not, we had that flavour, we had a reporter there, and we could bring that into people's homes. We had the time to do things like England training for half an hour. No other TV station had time to do that. So it was a behind-the-scenes idea that people quickly became to rely on as the first source of news. You know, obviously, when we were started back in 1998, there was no transfer deadline. Clubs could sign players right up till the end of March at any time during the season. So as soon as transfer deadline day started, well, that was the perfect vehicle for Sky Sports News, and it became the go-to place to find out on deadline day what your club was up to.
Yeah. Thank goodness for the metatarsal and the shin splints stopped us talking about hamstrings, which was just crazy.
Well, who knew what a metatarsal was?
Yeah, I had to look it up, that was for sure. OK, over those 25 years, I think it's fair to say you have covered many, many stories. Which stands out for you?
I think the first one that stood out, if we sort of go a bit chronologically, would be Man United winning the treble. Now, my dad used to joke that he was the only person actually watching me that night because the rest of the world were watching Manchester United playing on ITV. But I had Tommy Docherty in the studio with me, wow, which for me was fantastic, talking us through the game. So, I mean, obviously there were some people who, because we're not just broadcasting in England or in the UK at those times, who didn't have access to it. So, you know, we felt that we were a bit part of it, even though, you know, it was on in a corner of the studio and we were trying to update it as we went along. I mean, that's always the thing, isn't it? We've got game on there and a game on there, and you've got 4 things that you're supposed to be telling everyone about. and you can't really watch them all properly. And you're just sort of hoping that the computer doesn't go down.
Yeah, I had that with Liverpool and that famous comeback in the Champions League final. It was trying to convince Jason McAteer to stay at half-time. He wanted to go.
Well, Andy Gray did famously say it was all over.
Yeah. What else then? Let's move forward chronologically.
OK. It was Tiger Woods winning his first major by 15 strokes at the USPGA and going on to win another 2 that year. What about the Olympics, 2012? So, of course, in 2012, we had a studio. We couldn't be in the Olympic parks. We weren't rights holders. We had a studio overlooking it, do you remember, at the top of a building. But because we were at the top of the building there, we got so many interviews of athletes coming out of the park to come up to our little studio right in the gods. So, I mean, an event that we had no picture for, we were really, really a big part of and added to the coverage of that event. And I think that was huge. Do you not think?
It was amazing. It really was. They were sort of queuing up to come on air,
They were,
weren't they?
absolutely. And you got to be part of that whole atmosphere around the park with all the people with their big spongy fingers and just the whole party that was going on the whole time that the Olympics was on in London. It was massive.
Apparently there was a few bars around there. I didn't.
Well, I don't know. I was on very late at night and they were all closed.
Yeah, and moving it forward then, in recent times, what's stuck out for you?
OK, well, so how about Emma Raducanu winning the US Open from nowhere? I mean, you'd literally be watching, and she'd come through round after round after round. And I was on the night that she actually won it. And I remember interviewing down the line Andrew Castle. And he was so emotional about it. It was quite late at night, 11 o'clock at night, I think, and probably tired and emotional, Andrew, at the time. But it was just the emotion of watching this young girl achieve her dream quite out of the blue. It was one of those brilliant rags to riches stories that that we do follow on this channel and make it worth it.
Yeah, wonderful to have you here to help celebrate.
Apparently there are cupcakes. That's why I've come in.
That's fantastic. You won't see much more of me then. That's good news for the viewers.
Well done with Ref Watch, poor Dermot.
Yeah. We won't go there. But wonderful. I would say here's to another 25 years for you and me, but I think OK,
Let's give people a break.
Maybe 2.5 hours. Right, wonderful, Claire. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, darling.
I've just rekindled those old days.